Greetings, everyone. Give me just a moment. There you are. Thanks for joining. I'm not sure how many people are actually going to be here. I sent out a newsletter this weekend and with a reminder about this evening. And I don't know. I don't think anybody opened the newsletter. So, excuse me. We had rain here. And it gets, there's a lot of pollen and stuff in the air. So what I want to do tonight is share about Resonant retuning and some of the work with some new tuning forks that I had made for me. This is what I was exploring over our lockdown, such as it is. But to give you a little bit of background, so first of all, welcome, thank you, whether you're here to watch this live, if you join live, or if you join later. I appreciate this. I will share a little bit more, but I want to give you a little bit background about sound and the tuning forks that I use and how I work with them and how this has evolved over this last year. And then I will do a demo. I'm still working with some new sound equipment, tweaking it and getting it so where it actually picks up some of the tuning forks. Some of them are just so low that you can't hear them very well, even without a microphone, even if putting them up to your ear. So as we go into this actual healing session, keep in mind that whether you actually hear them or not, the resonance is there and it does work remotely and in person. There's no difference really other than the aesthetics. So several years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, when I was actually starting to work with private sessions and some of the work that I do, where I do really deep work with clients. I will travel in their bodies and take them with me to look at things and to unravel things and to explore things. And I've had some really incredible experiences working with this process. I started incorporating sound about 3 years ago in these sessions where I would work with the tuning Tibetan bowls and crystal bowls. While we were locked down, I kind of put everything aside and I went very deep for about a year, a little over a year. I have a dear friend and mentor by the name of Randy Masters, and he's created tuning forks for me over the years. I had my first sound experience with him in Mount Shasta in 2003 at a convention that I went to, and he was lecturing and talking about the music of the spheres, just the music of space, of the planets, of life. And he played a tuning fork that was tuned to Sirius B, and I left my body. and had an extraordinary experience of being out in the cosmos, not as myself, but as part of the cosmos, and hearing and feeling the in-breath and out-breath of the cosmos, of creation, and actually breathing in sync with that. And as we breathed, I could see sparks of light going from and going to the planets. And I realized that these were probably souls incarnating or discarnating. And it's probably the most amazing experience of my life. And I ordered that tuning fork from him, and he knew exactly which one I was talking about. And over the years, we've formed kind of a mentorship, friendship. He was a guest on my Vibratory Universe radio show, and we've had long conversations about sound frequency and vibration and different tuning forks and what they do. And when I've been trying to decide how I'm going to do what I want to do. And the first set of tuning forks that he made for me were the Sri Yantra, which is the sacred geometry that encompasses all of life. And I should have brought that in to show you, but you can look it up. It's Sri, S-R-I, Yantra, Y-A-N-T-R-A. And I have a dear friend who is a Vastu Shastra practitioner, which is building science. And she uses that geometric configuration in her work a lot to bring spaces into alignment. And so I have a Sri Yantra, a picture of one over my front door, because that space needed that. And so Randy made me a set of these Sri Yantra tuning forks, and I played with them for a while. And it's like, okay, this is not complete. I'm not sure what I need to do. And so, having started working with the divine feminine and the divine masculine, I realized that if I were to have the specific frequencies of the divine feminine and divine masculine, and then also use the Sri Yantra, first to create the space, and then the divine feminine and divine masculine tuning forks, and then sealed it with the Sri Yantra, it would create that container within individuals and allow them to allow these tuning forks to help them go in the direction that they wanted to go. Save that. So over this last year, I've been playing with these forks and just started working with them with individuals. And I've had some really good feedback. And I also work with them on myself. Excuse me. So I'm excited about moving forward with this. So this work is really a combination of two different things that I used to offer. One was resonant restructuring, which was the really deep healing work, geared a lot of times to individuals who have had trauma, or they're clearing some really tough things, and And it's very deep work, and that's where I actually travel with individuals inside and help them see things and communicate with their body and their emotions and resolve things. And then there's the resonant restructuring, which isn't quite as involved, but works with that used to work with Tibetan and crystal bowls and tank drums and whatever I was called to work with. And so I've kind of merged these two things. And so that's what this evening is about. There's another piece that I'm integrating with this, and some of you have heard me mention the biofield viewer, which was co-created by Thornton Strader, Dr. Thornton Strader, who is incredible. And it initially, when I purchased the viewer, you had to use it in person, and you had to have a very bright light shining on the person on a white background. And so that was the direction that I was moving toward as I got certified in this. And that involved either finding an office, which I hadn't gotten to, or seeing people in my house. And so that was the direction that I was looking at first. And then we went into lockdown. And so the equipment that I bought went into storage. And I kind of went very in deep inside and said, okay, now what? And in the meantime, Thornton and his co-creator had created the remote version of the biofield viewer, which allows you to take a remote photo of a person who is standing in an appropriate place. In other words, with enough light on their body and on a white background. And what the biofield viewer does is actually shows all of your chakras, your energy field, your entire energy field, all of your chakras. It shows the different colors, and each of the colors represents something. And so I started playing with people that I knew and doing before and after shots. I would do a before, and then I would do a mini session with them, or we would just clear their field. And then I would do an after shot. And it was phenomenal. The changes that you would see in an individual. Now, these were very superficial sessions. They weren't anything real deep, not to say that they weren't helpful, but it was kind of like going to have your aura photo done. It changes every time you change your mind. So it's not really totally accurate for deep and long-term changes. But not to say that sometimes things like that do happen. But my point being that now that I have the capability to do this, as I'm working with individuals, I will be doing the before and the after. And then if I work with individuals again, I will be doing a before and an after and comparing them to the last time to see, because sometimes when you loosen a chink, a stone, the whole structure goes. So if you're working on some big stuff that you're really trying to move and you pull out that one stone, somehow, the healing can be complete. I'm not saying that happens all the time, but it does happen. So that's the background of this program that I'm starting, this kind of melding of the resonant restructuring, the resonant retuning. And I'm just calling it resonant retuning because people will, okay, there's sound. Okay, tuning forks. Yeah, I get that. But it's much more involved in that. And so this is an intro. I wanted to give the background about it. And then I also wanted to share the program that I'm starting. I have private sessions at a greatly discounted cost of $50 per 45 to 50 minutes, sometimes even longer. I go as long as is needed. And that includes the resonant, the tuning forks and the journey, a deeply guided journey. And if we have things that we need to look at, then we do the deep dive. If you watch this video and you provide me with feedback about it, what you got out of it, what you think of it, and you want to have a private session yourself, you will get 50% off of the already discounted price of $50. So in other words, you will have like a 50 some odd minute session for 25. And you can send your feedback to magic@creativedivinestudios.com, which is my website, Creative Divine, Divine Studios, plural, all one word, .com. And the sessions are recorded. I'm playing with YouTube Live to see how that works. Zoom definitely doesn't work very well with resonant instruments such as tuning forks and bowls and all that. It has, even with when you make the adjustments that they say to make, there's still that resonance and then it drops off completely. And yeah, so no, I'm not even going to go that route. Another thing that I'm exploring is Rumble, because it is not censored. So we'll see how that goes. I wish there were more people on the event tonight who might have questions. There looks like there's one person on, but that's me, I think. So I guess we'll dive right down into the experience. And we'll probably end a little early since there's nobody on here to dialogue. So let's start out by setting space. So I invite everybody, all of y'all, to close your eyes and take a really deep and cleansing breath in your belly. And exhale. And do that several more times, just to center yourself. And one last time, and place your awareness in your heart. And connect with your heart essence, your love. And as you exhale next, send some of your heart energy down your body, down your legs, and into your feet. Imagine that you are standing on the grass, and let your feet connect with the earth and your toes to grow roots. And send those roots all the way down, 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 down through all the layers and into the heart of Mother Earth. It's a beautiful rose quartz beating heart, molten and shimmering. And let your roots sink into her heart. And feel her support for you, feel her love for you, especially feel her gratitude for you being here right now at this very difficult yet transformational time on our planet when we are needed so much to guide this awakening. And as you inhale, bring her energy back up into your heart, all the way back up, and let it mingle with your own energy. And then on your next exhale, send that heart energy, your heart energy, up and out the top of your head and all the way out into the universe, into the cosmos. As far out as you can go until you reach a sun that fills the sky. Our sun, our great central sun, and plug into the very center of it. And understand that Father Sky has the same love for us as Mother Earth. That's all there is love. There is nothing else. It is the creative force of the universe. There's no judgment. There's nothing. It's just love. And breathe some of that beautiful golden energy back into your body, down through the crown of your head. Still connected to Mother Earth, but feel yourself held and between heaven and earth and loved. Absolute unconditional love. No judgment, no wrong making, no nothing, just pure love. And allow yourself to focus on this unconditional love as we work with these tuning forks and work through the focus on the issues that you might have that you want to resolve tonight, that you might want to work on, and you don't have to voice them out loud. Well, you can't, but you can voice them to yourself. Just state clearly what you want to receive tonight. And while I'm not working with you directly, the tuning forks will facilitate at least a lessening of what you might want resolved, or an easing of what you might want to resolve. I will tell you what I'm working with as we work through these. The first that I'm going to be working with are the Shri Yantra. And I'm going to create the pyramid, the center pyramids first. And there are 5 forks. And I will strike each one twice. And I hope that this comes through. This isn't the best of microphones to use for tuning forks. The other ones are better, but I decided until I have those perfected, I'm not going to be working with them. So several deep breaths. Wherever you are sitting or laying, sink in deeply. Sink in deeply into yourself. And once again, understand that just because you may not hear these forks does not mean that they're not working, because trust me, they do. Here we go. There are 5 forks to create the Shri Yantra within. And the base will be in your belly. And that's what we're creating right now. The apex at your crown. Now we're going to work within your body, starting with within your crown, within your crown chakra and your third eye, and in that area, your place of thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. And I'm working with the Metatron fork, Metatron being the keeper of the Book of Days, and the head honcho, I think, would be an appropriate term for him. So this is going to help to unhook old thoughts, old beliefs, old patterns that are repeating that you might not have been able to resolve, or that you sometimes have stress patterns when this comes up. This will unlock the door for clearing with the rest of the forks. We're moving it through your crown and in circles, clockwise, crown and around and down, around your head to about mid-ear. Just because you may not hear this or it sounds distorted does not mean it's not working. Now counterclockwise, around the top of your head, the crown, and down over the third eye, the occipital bone, to about mid-ear. We're loosening and helping to break up old patterns, old thought forms that keep recurring, particularly from stress or when we get triggered. And now we're moving down around the head, the face, the jaw, the throat, the back of the neck, and to the very top of the shoulders. Next, I'm going to be working with the Shekinah, the divine feminine force. And we're going to be working in the heart area with the next two tuning forks. This one is pretty powerful. And you will, if you're sensitive, you might feel it. Here we go. Moving slowly down the neck, in the front and around to the back and up the back of the neck. And down, straight down the sternum, the breastbone, centering in the heart, in the front of the body. And unlocking the heart and beginning to peel away layers of things that are unresolved, things that make you stuck, grief and sadness, old wounds, unfinished business. Even just random experiences of being slighted. And moving around to the back of the heart. Working with the past and the decisions that we made about ourselves that are inaccurate, the feelings that we have about ourselves that are absolutely not true, that are based on low self-esteem and past experiences that were hurtful. Grief and sadness that we have not let go of. Breathe in and breathe out. Let it flow out your breath. Everything that's ready to go. Let this go. Let it go. Let it loosen. Let it fall away like dust. And let it flow out your breath. Next, we are going to work with Miriam, or Mother Mary, and her amazing healing. And we're going to be working again in the heart, but also in the solar plexus, because this is where we hold self-esteem issues. Working in the front right now, the present. Slowly rotating this in a clockwise circle to loosen and stir up any self-esteem issues that you might have residing there. And you know, for some individuals during this lockdown, it did activate a lot of stuff. Whether it's self-esteem or self-doubt or, you know, unsafety, whatever. You're always safe. You're always held. You're always held in the highest love. Even if you can't hear this resonance of this tuning fork, let her power loosen and dissolve everything that's ready to leave and free yourself. Reaching through the airwaves, through the dimensions, to each person on this call and each person who will hear this recording. And now moving to the back, the past. And encompassing the stomach as well. Not only the place where we digest food, but where we digest experiences. And so by loosening all of that, you can better digest the past and let it flow through your energetic intestines the same way you digest food, absorbing and keeping what you need, the learning from them, the nutrients, the learning, and letting go of the rest. Deep breath. Continue to breathe through this. If you get stuck, sometimes a cough will help. This is the place that we call the big motor. The solar plexus is the big motor. If you have studied energy work, then you would know that if a person goes into shock, the first place you attend to is the head. And the next place you attend to is the solar plexus. Because this is where it's purported that the soul enters and leaves. Breathe. Keep breathing, inhaling and exhaling. Next, we're going to work on the solar plexus and the sacrum. Solar plexus, the sacrum, and then the root. The root will be we'll be working on all three at some point. And this one is Mary Magdalene. And from my study of her healing abilities and her being what I know her to be as the first apostle to Yeshua and his life partner. She was a very powerful woman, very, very misrepresented through religion, and now the truth is starting to come out. There are many, many books that have been written and continue to be written about her power and her healing ability. And she worked mostly with love and intention, but she was a high priestess of Isis. She was trained as a high priestess of Isis, and so she knew alchemy. And the solar plexus being our power center, the sacrum being the place of creation, not just of children, but of the creation of sexual power, and also the creation of new ideas, the creation of health, the creation of well-being. And then the root, of course, being the place of grounding, of home, so all of these come into play, and we're going to work with these spaces with the next two tuning forks, this one being Mary Magdalene. Starting in the front, the solar plexus, in a clockwise direction, stirring things up, and moving down to the sacrum. Clockwise direction, activation. We're activating these. We are clearing these. We are using this activation to clear out any stagnant energies, any old programming, any old programming about self-esteem, about sex, about procreation, about babies, sex education, whatever. Now's the time to get rid of it. And moving down to the root, grounding. We're activating that root chakra, moving this in a clockwise direction. Imagine the root chakra moving down in a clockwise direction, almost like a drill, drilling into the earth, anchoring you here, and providing a way of releasing all this old energy down into the earth. And Mother Earth takes it, because that's her food. She recycles all of this. And now moving to the back and moving in a clockwise direction, which from the front is counterclockwise. And we're dealing with past things. And breathing deeply throughout this whole experience. Blending those colors of red, yellow, and orange. Those three chakras in a pinwheel. Activating. Cleansing. We're cleansing the past now. Breathing. The next tuning fork that we will be using through all the chakras now is the Magdalene, which is her special frequency of healing. And I will be starting at the root and going up through the center of the body to the crown. And here we go. The sacred spiral, starting at the root, going up from the root, activating the root, purifying and cleansing the root. Stability, grounding, familiarity, home, cleansing everything that's in the way of its true purpose. Moving into the sacrum in a sacred upward spiral. Cleansing past experiences which were unfortunate, uncomfortable, destructive. Cleansing the womb or in the male, those organs of procreation. Cleansing that receptacle. And into the stomach, the solar plexus, the spleen, source of digestion, digesting life. Being okay with what is. Embracing life. Safety and security. Your big motor. Cleansing any tendencies to addictions. Cleansing any hesitancy about claiming your power. And moving up into the heart. Cleansing heartache, heartbreak. Removing the imprints of betrayal. Healing heart wounds and heart scars. Opening to trust. Opening to resiliency. Opening to openness. Moving into the throat and the high heart. This is our creation center. This is why they say the voice is our most potent healing tool, because this is where we create and how we create who we are and what we are, by our speaking, by our truth telling, by our singing. There are many individuals, researchers on the planet, that have said that the voice is the highest frequency healing tool when used in alignment with the power of Source. It cannot be replicated. No matter how they try, they cannot replicate the human voice 100%, because each person has their own special frequency. Using the voice as a healing tool. Compassion, forgiveness, expressions of love, expressions of tolerance and understanding. And moving now to the third eye, the source of our intuition, the source of our connection to our knowing, our pineal gland. And we're surrounding the pineal gland right now with these sounds because fluoride particularly tends to corrode it. So we're giving it a cleansing sound bath to kind of polish it up and remove that tarnish if it exists. Strengthening your connection to the divine. Strengthening your connection to knowing what you need to know when you need to know it. Receiving your messages and your guidance. Removing any obstructions. And moving up finally to the crown. God source energy. Clearing that portal of any obstructions. And now we are using this around the bottoms of the feet. May your feet be sacred tools to heal the earth. Opening the chakras there. And then the hands. Making your hands healing tools to soothe others. Expanding the chakras in their palms. And the final tuning fork tonight, well, not the final, but the last one of this series, is the male positive solar Christ, which is essentially Yeshua's energy as an ascended being, the solar Christ. And starting from the root, going up through the body, to the solar plexus or the sacrum, solar plexus, root, stomach, sacrum or the solar plexus, and then up into the heart, to the high heart, to the throat, into the third eye, into the crown, and then downward in the opposite direction, forming the DNA spiral. The crown, the third eye, the throat, the high heart, the heart, the solar plexus, the sacral, the root, the bottoms of the feet, the palms of the hand, finally, I'm going to go quickly through the Sri Yantra forks to seal all of this within us. And I'm going to end the tuning fork session with my tuning fork of Sirius B. To take us all home and to solidify everything that we've done. So start taking some really deep breaths. Let your awareness come back in its own time. And keep breathing, keep breathing. When you are feeling it, you can open your eyes, come back to the present. Wiggle your fingers and toes. So thank you for being my guinea pigs tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. See how you feel after this, and see how you feel tomorrow. And as I said, I will be doing private sessions with these, and right now they're greatly discounted. Like a 50-minute session is $50. But if you send me your feedback, your honest feedback, in an email, and you want a private session, you get 50% off the 50. So it's $25 for a 50-minute session. I want people to, I want to know what people experience. And these were just part of the set of the tuning forks that I have for the divine feminine and the divine masculine. I have way more. I have like 5 to 7 more. And so the full Monty will be yours if you so choose. So I am going to I'm going to post this. I'm going to try and post this on my YouTube channel. It didn't work the last time, but I will try again. And I will also post this on my Resonant ReTuning website page, which is creativedivinestudios.com/resonant hyphen or dash retuning. And in the chat here, I posted my email where you can send your feedback about tonight. And the feedback is good anytime you, whenever people might watch this, this video, and it's always good for one 50-minute session for $25. So I look forward to hearing from some people. I hope it would be nice to know that I'm not talking to dead air. But yeah, I look forward to feedback and knowing what you think and what you've experienced and if it was helpful. And, particularly let me know about the sound. The next time I do this, and I may do this again, I should have my new sound equipment finessed so that it actually works and I can more accurately broadcast these sounds because they are phenomenal. I mean, literally. So anyway, with that, I'm going to close and I'm going to thank you all. Whoever was here earlier, I saw a couple people jump on and then jump off. And for all who might watch this later, thank you. I appreciate it. Look forward to your feedback. Look forward to your experiences. And I hope you sleep well tonight. Maybe you will. Bye.